Hello everyone, I've got a new team for you today that's just a little bit unusual because it's got a couple of fatal flaws with it. I didn't realise when I slapped it together, but I thought I'd have a bit of fun because this is kind of the last day of Great League. There's time for some more sets tomorrow potentially, but I'm going to save mine up for Ultra because I really enjoyed Ultra Premier last season. So with that in mind, someone put up a post up on one of the forums I read about, here is a list of what I've got, recommend me a team, and this is what I put together. Now, I'm not one to avoid putting my money where my mouth is, so I thought I'd give it a try. And as I'm sure the more observant of you have quickly noticed, that there's really a large fatal flaw with this team, and that's fire types. Fire types in Great League, you won't have seen too many. I've seen far more Sunny Cherums than I have Charizards, despite the fact that in theory Charizard is, the big bad of the fire types. And the reason is fire types are in a bit of a bad state thanks to the CP formula. So this is a bit of a gamble. I'm just kind of hoping and praying I don't run into any fire types. So we'll kick off our first match and we will lead our Stunfisk, and we'll see what our opponent's got for us. The overall goal of this team is to put the Galarian Stunfisk on the lead and bait out an Azumarill to try and eat it with the spider. So we've led into what is perhaps the worst case in that it is a rainy cast form. We switch swiftly into Shiftry and then open up with the Leaf Blades. Shiftry makes a really good safe swap because it's a fast charge rate. Even when you get hard countered like something like a Machamp, which we just have, we can get the Leaf Blades off and hopefully take some shields off them. Going 2 shields to 0 is a reasonable compromise for having lost the switch. There we go, so we're taking 2 shields off the Machamp, that's not too bad, and we're going to bring in the Galvantula. Galvantula resists their charge moves and their fast moves, but the rock slides will devastate us. So we shield here because we can't really afford to soak a rock slide. And a cross drop came through. So they've baited us a bit and they're going to probably go for another cross drop, but I couldn't take the risk, so so it goes. We're going to throw a discharge back and hopefully put down this Machamp. Perhaps I'd have taken an opportunity to farm there as well, that would be a really good idea, but so it goes. We're going to charge up with an Azumarill and overload a little bit, and they're going to get to their Ice Beam first. We know that because the number of bubbles they threw was 5, and that was enough for an Ice Beam. Not quite enough to finish us, so we get to the discharge. But probably not enough to get a second one out, unfortunately, which is a shame. But we took a big chunk off Azumarill, and there we go. So next up we're bringing the Stunfisk back out again. Stunfisk against Azumarill isn't a great matchup, but it's not terrible. I mean, they hit us for super effective, but we've got some very spammy moves to throw back. So there we go, we take out Azumarill, and we're looking to take out the cast form. They've got Weather Ball on their side, and Weather Ball is a very spammy move, even more so than probably Rock Slide on a Galarian Stunfisk. So they've probably got us outpaced to the charge moves here. So we're just going to rush to an Earthquake and see if that will be enough to finish them. Their health is getting down a bit, but not by enough, I don't think. And sure enough, not quite. Takes a big chunk out of them, but another Rock Slide might have done the job. Not today. We lose this one. Good game to my opponent. A double water is quite an interesting one to see, particularly with it on the lead. So here's where we see the flaw with this team. It's a fire type, and at this point I was thinking, oh bother, we've got a fire type and we can't switch. However, Galarian Stunfisk does still have moves that are super effective to fires, so we're just going to stay in on this one and just hope we can take out that Marowak before it does us too much harm. They're going to be throwing a move at us, and I'm just taking a guess this is Shadow Ball because that hurts quite a lot, and there we go, Shadow Ball. It's landed, we didn't shield. That's okay though, because we are just going to push for another Rock Slide and hope we can just kind of convince them to either waste a shield or... There we go, we get the shield that time, they want to stay in. We're going to throw another shield into this because even though this is probably a Bone Club and it's a huge waste, that gives us a switch advantage if we can take them out. We're going to see if they want to go down 2 shields to our 1, which would be a reasonable concession for losing the lead, and they don't. So equal shields and we've won the switch. Out comes Meganium, so either of us has play against Meganium actually, so we bring out the Galvantula. It resists the grass moves. It's not going to like the Earthquake the Meganium's potentially going to throw, but the grass moves we resist, so it's not too bad. However, having said that, Frenzy Plant is a very powerful move, so it will still hurt if it lands. So we just shield it anyway, just hoping if there's bait we take it. Okay, it was an Earthquake, good shield there. Here comes Altaria. The Dragon and the Flying cancel out to make electric neutral, but Galvantula does still hit quite hard. There you go, it's taking a big chunk off, and we might get to another discharge before the Sky Attack comes in. And we do. If we got to a Sky Attack, that would have hit us quite hard, again for neutral, but the Galvantula is pretty squishy. And we put down the Altaria, and out comes Meganium again. We're just going to rush for a lunge and see if we can get there first, and we can't. They're going to put us down. So now it's down to Shiftry to try and finish the day. I'm going to need to land 2 foul plays to finish the job, so we're just going to go for back-to-backs on them. We're going to charge up, hope they're going to throw quickly, and they do, so it's probably a frenzy plant. This does hurt, like I say, even though we resist it. Another one of those will put us down. But I think we're going to get the second foul play, and there we go. Second foul play goes off, and we throw it, and very nearly would have taken it out, but we've got another one loaded, so good game to my opponent. That was fairly close, but and that was with the fire type lead, so it's not as bad as it sounds. So next up we have me forgetting to trim my recordings. There we go, and we're going to load this one up and go into the next match. Sorry about that. The trick with this is when you've got AZ screen recorder to just pause at the end of each match and then resume afterwards. Sometimes I forget to do that. So good lead for us, Galvantula into Gunfisk, and then we get the bait. They bring out their Azumarill, we bring out our Galvantula, and this is bad news for them. We're going to shield the Ice Beam and we're going to farm up some energy. Oh well, let's play rough. Okay, I wasn't counting their bubbles close enough. We're going to charge up a bit more and just build a nice energy lead and throw discharges at them until they go away. There's another one going through, and there we go. Takes out their Azumarill in one blow, and we've got loaded energy. So that's a good price for a shield. Out comes a Galvantula again, and this time we throw a lunge at them because they'll resist the electric, and Bug will hit them for neutral, and it will debuff them more importantly, so they can return the favour. They are going to return the favour by the looks of it, but that's okay. We're going to be able to go down. Yeah, there we go. So they've taken us out. That's okay because we can bring back in our rock thrower. And out comes a Toxicroak. Now, this is not good news for us because they resist the rock slides, so we're just going to go straight into an Earthquake and hope they don't shield. It's a bit of a gamble, and they don't shield. And I'm just a bit shocked at that, but they have got the Galvantula that needs the shields, so we're going to rock slide that as well. I think they probably should have shielded that Toxicroak, but so it goes. And at this point, we get a bit of lag out, and I'm just kind of wondering if my opponent's just rage quit in disgust, actually, because that Toxicroak shield would probably have turned the match for them. And they didn't shield there. They probably knew what was going to happen next. Good game to my opponent. Gardevoir. Worse Shadow Gardevoir. I've not seen many Charmers this season, so this is bad news for my team. It's going to be a problem for Galvantula. It's going to be a problem for Shiftry. So, fortunately, the steel resists Charm, so we're going to throw some rock slides at it and hope to take it out. Unfortunately, I also suspect they've probably got 2 more shadows behind it, because that's quite common with the Gardevoir lead. And yeah, there we go, Houndoom. It's a fire type on a team that doesn't like fire types. But we are going to throw the rock slides. Rock slides do hit for super effective, and we're going to try and get to another one and take out that shield. But I don't think we'll get to the third we need to finish it off. Good call by my opponent, actually. If they shielded the Gardevoir, then that wouldn't have worked out so well for them. So now we're in the nasty position of we bring 2 squishy things that are vulnerable to fire in on a fire type. And the only thing we can really hope for is we get to that Bug move and take it out. Bug does hit super effective to dark, so this is really the only hope we've got. And we take out the Houndoom. So it's a victory bell in the back, which is okay because we've got something that resists grass. Well, 2 things that resist grass, but this one's got some health left. So all we have to do is get to that foul play, and hopefully that will take out the victory bell. Very squishy and no shields left. Not quite, but they're not going to get to a move before we finish them. And there we go. Good game. Nice fast one for my opponent. Nice fast one for me. There we go. And last matchup, this was Hack Central. This is still loading. I mean, the video hasn't jammed, and there we go. We end up straight halfway into the match, and yeah, I think this is single-handedly double the amount of Charmers I've seen. There's not been very many about, and oh, look at that. So even with the new patch, it's still not all that great. So as an Azumarill, so that's double fairy. Galvantula can handle that though, so we'll bring that out and give it a bit of a slap. Nibble nibble with the electric, and Discharge takes that down quite merrily. They're going to throw probably an Ice Beam at us if they've got a fairy on the lead. No, they've got fairy moves as well. So okay, so they're going quite hard on the fairy types here. So that's okay. We can take out a Azumarill, build up an energy lead, and out comes Wigglytuff again. We're going to straight into lunges here. They don't actually do a lot of good, but they do debuff it. So there we go. Doesn't do a lot of harm, but it reduces the damage it does from Charm. And then we go to a Discharge and see if that will get their attention a little bit more. And we're going to Discharge land. Yes, there we go. Discharge takes out Wigglytuff. At a Clefable in the back. So this guy's running triple fairy. That's incredible. I've not seen that for a while, or ever. So we're going to go to the rock slides, bring our steel type out. if you're running triple fairy, this is one of the big flaws that your team has, is it just can't handle steals. Fortunately, we have a steal because the Shiftry in the back would get wrecked by charm, and the Galvantula doesn't like it much either. So perhaps that's just as well on my part. I think I'd have probably won this still, and I was actually going to shift into the Shiftry just to make them feel a bit better about getting splattered by 2 Pokemon. So there you go. I've seen 2 or 3 things there that I haven't seen in ages that haven't caused this team problems, but actually it wasn't as big a problem as it looked. You can handle the fire types, well, the pseudo fire types, just because fire's in a bad place. Pure fire would be a problem, but I doubt you're going to see it very much. A Sunny Cherrium would be a bit of a nuisance, but it's still not as bad as it sounds. You've still got some play against that. And we saw the Shadow Houndoom, which in theory should be able to chew its way through the whole team, but it's just so squishy that you can nibble away the shields and then take it down that way. That wouldn't have worked without a team that didn't have spammy charge moves, so we needed to get those shields down in order to finish them off. There we go. A little bit of fun for a Sunday. I'm looking forward to the premiere, and I'll have a few things for you there, and I'll see you next time.